on how to have a good group discussion. So what I want you to talk about are things you saw in that video. Now, they could have been anything from the way the participants acted or the way they spoke to one another. So what were some of the good strategies that they used to engage in good group discussions? Angel?
They move their hands.
Okay, when they talked, they kind of talked with enthusiasm, moved their hands. What else? Did you want to?
Listen.
What?
They listen.
Ah, I love that. Listened. Did you see them interrupting another person? Mm-mm. You need to let that person finish their thoughts or their ideas. That's very important. What else? Hayden, did you notice anything?
Oh.
Did you notice anything?
No, you
Did you hear what he said? Say it louder.
did. They did eye contact.
They made eye contact with the whole group. Did they talk down at their feet the whole time?
Some of them did.
No. So, eye contact.
That's fun.
What else? Dakota, do you have an idea?
They were moving their legs.
They were moving their legs. I think some people do that just because they get nervous or
That's me.
they do it and they don't even know they're doing it. Yes.
I do it.
I move my legs.
What about, did they let everybody talk?
Yes.
They went around the circle. Everybody had a chance to talk.
Some of them like
And I don't know if you noticed, but at the very end of that video clip, the one gal, she hadn't spoke yet about the topic of why it's important to have friends in high school. And so one of the group members said, you know, we haven't heard from you yet. What do you think about this topic? So do you think that might be a good idea to use in your group if you haven't heard from somebody? Yeah.
Yeah.
You could easily say, hey, Kaden, we haven't heard from you yet. What do you think about the topic of chapter 9? Or why was Joetta so upset about the angel that Mrs. Robinson gave to her? You know, ask his opinion. Because not all of your peers like to talk like some of you do. Okay?
Oh.
It's not normal for them just to like speak out. So you have to kind of encourage them to speak out, okay?
Okay.
So our first group is going to consist of group 1, and that'll be Kaden and Skylar. Okay? So Skylar, you might have to help Kaden talk a little bit because he's a little bit quieter than you are. And then group 2 will be Angel and Dakota, unless JJ and Hardy come back from testing, okay? So here are your discussion questions that you're going to be discussing with each other. Okay, so look down at them. Number 1, what do Mama and Dad want Byron to learn in Alabama? I want you to just discuss that. Number 2, how is Flint, Michigan different from Birmingham, Alabama? How are the people treated? Use one adjective to describe Mama. Why do you think Mama planned the trip so carefully? 4, do you think Kenny will like the South? Why do you think this? Okay, a lot of these questions are asking you to apply what you've learned from the book, but then they also want your opinion as well. And are opinions ever wrong?
No.
No, because it's your thought. Number 5, have you ever felt scared the way Kenny and Byron felt at the Tennessee rest stop? Share the situation you were in, okay? In chapter 10, there was a scary situation at the rest stop that you read about with Mrs. Lammers on Tuesday, right? So they want you to discuss a time where you were maybe in a scary situation, or you were frightened or afraid of something, okay? So you just tell your group member that experience, okay? All right, so group 1, Kaden and Skylar, why don't you go ahead and you can go to the door, by the table there at the door. And then Angel and Dakota, you can make your way to the back table. Sit close so that you can have a nice discussion. And don't forget, I'll keep these up. You need to be a good listener, make eye contact, and you also need to make sure everyone talks in your group. I don't want to hear just one person talking the entire time. I'll be around to check on each group and listen to your discussions.
I know mostly since she read them off. If you read them again, the author will say, what does Mama and Dad want Byron to learn in Alabama? I don't know that one. You know what that is? I knew we were going to say we usually want to watch movies.
No, I'm not sitting over here to watch you. I'm sitting over here to listen to your discussion.
I don't know this one.
Okay, well it's a good reason for us to be in a discussion group so that maybe you can learn about it, right?
Hayden, do you know what it is?
Hayden, can you help Skylar out? What do Mama and Dad want Byron to learn in Alabama? Did you hear him? What does it mean to behave?
Listen.
Listen to who?
Like your parents.
Your parents, in this case. You don't have to write anything down, Skylar. You can just listen. It's just a talking. We're just talking, okay? So, Skylar, can you remember, now that you know that they want Byron to learn how to behave appropriately, can you think back into the story a time where Byron misbehaved? When?
When he was stealing, like old time stealing food from the store.
Well, he didn't really steal. Kaden, did you want to interject about that? I don't want to take over your group discussion.
And he was in the store again, then he killed the bird. And then he also gave bird fire Kenny. And then that's all I remember.
You remember a lot. That's a lot of remembering things from the book. One behavior that you didn't address was when he decided that he was going to dye his hair.
He did?
Yeah.
Yes, he did. So,
And what about the issue with the fire?
oh, I thought that was Kenny.
No, that was the fire.
That was Byron playing with the matches. Oh.
Okay, so you listed a lot of things that Byron maybe did that that should have misbehaved. So again, Kaden, why do Mom and Dad want Byron to go down to Alabama to stay with Grandma Sands?
Because so that he learns to listen to them. He misbehaved.
Yes. So they want to make sure he learns his lesson on how he needs to behave and listen to adults. Right? Okay, so there you go. You guys answered number 1. You talked it through. Alright, go ahead and do number 2. Hi guys. Is it just you or is it Hardy?
Just me.
Okay, so JJ, you will go into group 2. I'm gonna have
No, I'm going back.
What?
I just need my health book. Because I'm done with my test.
but you're in language arts class right now.
We're waiting for those guys to be done.
No worries.
Is
See you
that a
later.
video?
See you later.
How is Flint matching?
Flint, Michigan.
Different from Brownsville,
Birmingham.
Birmingham, Alabama. How are people treated
Okay.
poorly?
How do you know that?
Because black, there's like blacks toilet, like one for black people there's like toilet and then water thing and then like with like white people there's like they have different sentiment things that I go into detail.
You're very right. Because in Flint, Michigan, do they have those separate facilities for blacks and whites?
No. Wait, yeah. No. It's up north, that's south.
You're right. You're right. Kaden, you are right, and you are also right. Skylar. Skylar, you were right about having the different bathroom facilities and drinking fountains in the South, because it was segregation around that time. We were still segregating. But the North, they were not. It was not like that in Flint, Michigan. Everybody used the same restroom. Everybody used the same water fountain. People were treated equally there, right? All right, good. All right, go ahead and move on to number 3. I'm going to go check on the other group. Nice job. Keep on going.
But do we have to write them down?
You do not have to write it down. Just talk about it.
Don't. Outside of the church. Screen.
Eh,
Just.
The last one.
Ooh, the last one. So have you ever felt scared the way Kenny and Byron felt at the Tennessee rest stop? And share the situation you were in. Well, I want you to, is there a situation you've been in your own life? So this is basically connecting the text, something that happened in our book, The Watsons Go to Birmingham, to what happens in your life. Is there a similarity? We're trying to see if there was a time you were scared in your life, just like Kenny and Byron were scared at the Tennessee rest stop.
I got scared. I was scared because my grandpa, he hid behind this like maze. I didn't even scared. He scared the crap out of me.
So you went through like a maze. Was it during Halloween time?
I think I was little.
You were little.
Yeah, he scared the crap out of me.
I have to admit, I'm a big pansy when it comes to scary things, scary movies,
Oh, I like
scary haunted houses. I don't like anything scary. I like the lights on all the time. So you like the lights off? You're the opposite. So is there a time where you felt that you were scared or in a scary situation? Never?
So
You've never lost your parents at the grocery store, at a department store. You've never been in a car accident where you felt scared or alone. You sure? Was that a scary time for you?
No.
Yeah, it happens like that, doesn't it? What made that scary for you? Jumped out of the woods and it hit your car? Or you hit the deer with the car?
Oh, poor dear.
Did the deer die?
You just look like you're telling.
Did your car have damage?
Just a radiator.
Just the radiator? And then everything else was fine?
I
was lucky, wasn't it? Did you know Mrs. Phelps, our other teacher assistant, she hit a deer on her way to work 2 years ago,
Laugh all day.
and it totaled her car.
Oh.
Like it was a total loss. So it's very scary for her to still drive in the dark with those deer because they just pop up out of the middle of nowhere, don't they?
Well, my grandma we saw a deer. It was like not night. It was like the middle of the day. It was like
Well, that's okay because you can at least see them.
because my grandma she got lost. And I'm like, Grandma, so we're like
Lost in the car.
I'm asking you first.
yeah, we were just off on the road going to a party. I was
It wasn't the right answer.
like, Grandma. Wow.
You just need to teach her how to use the GPS in her phone now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you about question number 4. Do you think Kenny will like the South? Why do you think this?
The air is much thinner and softer.
Is that what you guys came up with? Why Kenny will like the South?
Yeah. It's so warm.
No.
Oh, it's warmer. Okay.
Much higher
She
mountains.
wants to save money.
Are there mountains down
That's why
south?
she planned it so carefully.
No, that isn't any mountains down south. You can see those in the eastern side of the United States and out west.
They feel
You know, like.
Why'd you say warmer?
Does.
Where do they live now?
My parents do that too. We just like cook food.
Where's the very cool place? Flint, Michigan, right? So in Flint, Michigan, it's a lot colder than what it's going to be in Alabama, isn't it? So you think that's why Kenny's going to like it down there? Okay. What about friends? Do you think Kenny makes friends and friends?
Takes over the
No.
entire show.
Yeah.
Does Kenny have many friends in Michigan?
No.
So maybe this might be a new start for Kenny to have many friends.
Half that
Okay.
food.
No, I don't know.
Did you find an adjective that you used to describe Mama?
Yeah, you're really conserved to the
she
plans.
didn't want anything
Well, we
to go
didn't make it
wrong.
halfway there.
And want everything to be calm, quiet.
So she's neat, kind of a neat freak. She needs everything to be in its order. Organized. Remember we've used the word organized before.
I'm not organized.
You're not organized? I like to think I'm organized. All right, can I have you guys go take your papers and you can go head back to your seats and we're going to get into our next group.
So bad.
So this would be.
All right, group 1, Kaden and Skylar, go ahead and get back into your seat and we'll get into our next group. Okay? It's okay if you didn't finish.
Hello.
We're on number 4.
All right.
Fine.
Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is I have two sets of questions. They're pretty much the same kind of questions, but they may be worded a little differently. So your group, depending on what group you go to, you're going to get your set of questions. This is where you're going to actually write, okay? I want you helping each other write. You need to use complete sentences. It's important that you use PPQIA. Do you remember what PPQIA is?
No.
Okay, Skylar, can you help us?
It was that one thing.
Part,
Oh, darn it, I had it.
part,
Uh,
something.
Put part
Of question.
Put part of question and answer, right?
I had like 2 letters.
So you need to put part of the question into your answer and then go ahead and tell us what your answer is.
Yeah.
You guys can have this exact same sentences on your paper. It's okay. You don't have to have different sentences. You're working as a group for this. So group 1 is going to be Skylar, Hardy, and Dakota, which unfortunately Hardy's not here because he's testing. So group 1, why don't you go to the back table? And here are your questions.
I like the bed.
There's one for you, and I'll just give you one for Hardy just in case.
It's had to
You can go ahead and take your pencil and head to the back table. You're working on those. And then
Hi,
Kaden and Angel, and then if JJ comes back, he'll join you. You guys can go over to the table by the door.
There.
All right? So I want you working on those questions. If you don't finish today, that's okay. We'll finish them up tomorrow. All right, Skylar, go ahead and get started.
What?
Go ahead and get started. This one's for Hardy if he comes back. Okay? You want to stand or you going to sit?
I was just doing myself.
Okay. You can stop.
So we're working